Babylon Bridge opening. Oh, 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 that's the way. Jaja do it. 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 Babylon feel this one. Oh yeah.
We're smoking on some of that train wreck, you know what I'm saying? And some of that wild dogma. Some skull cap, just a little bit of skull cap. Train wreck CBD. Here on a Sunday, the sun is out. It's hot as hell. Had to unbutton the shirt, you know what I'm saying? But so I was thinking, right? I want to talk about this new Batman movie, right? The spirituality of Batman. So this Batman movie, I'm gonna talk about it first real quick on the trailer. So reviewing this trailer, man, I just feel like, you know, based off of the Batman movies I used to watch, based off of what's like the first Batman movie I used to watch, like the one from the '90s, just called by Batman. I think it's made by Tim Burton or something like that. Yeah, that movie right there, you know, set it off for me. And after that, I've watched pretty much all the Batman movies they've made since then, back from the '90s to whatever. So, me being a Capricorn, you know what I'm saying, the bat is one of our spiritual animals. You know what I'm saying? And so, in Yoruba, Capricorn would be Babalue, right? Which my father is actually, you know, a Yoruba man from Nigeria. And my mother is Igbo, so I'm like the first generation immigrant, you know what I'm saying, here in America. So let's check it out. So you got Batman, right? I seen this new trailer of this new Batman movie, and like, me personally, I don't really like the actor. I seen him from Twilight and stuff like that. It makes you feel like maybe he could play like a dark character. But Twilight was more of like a romance movie or whatnot, and Batman's more of like a serious, like lonesome character. So it doesn't really work out for me to like see him like that, you know. And you know, I just feel like this movie, I think it's gonna be a young Batman. And compared to the Ben Affleck Batman, I just feel like this Batman is gonna be like kind of whack, because I mean, I feel like, you know, when you think of Batman as a character, you know what I'm saying, and also his reign as, you know, being a character that's been alive, and you know, in our state of minds for a long time now. I feel since, you know, character was created, we've established his character already. So seeing an older Batman versus a younger Batman makes me feel like I don't really want to see a younger Batman anymore. You know, I got used to the older Batman because he's more established now. He knows exactly who he is and what he is, and this young Batman is kind of just like, I think it's a young Batman. I'm not exactly sure. But just seeing a younger Batman just shows, like, you know, he still hasn't learned certain things and such and so forth. And it's kind of lame because we want to see Batman, you know what I'm saying, in his, like, prime. We want to see Batman, like, you know, kicking ass the way Batman usually does, you know? And with this new Batman, I just feel like he's too young, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of, like, ridiculous because when you see that Batman in the Justice League and in a Suicide Squad, you know, movies and stuff like that, it kind of makes you feel like this Batman's more established in the DC universe, when this Batman's not really that established in the DC universe. So he's still thinking about things on like a human level, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't like stepped up to the God plate where it's like he's fucking with, like, you know, aka gods like Superman and stuff like that, people that actually can like break him in half with their bare hands, you know? Shit went out. But anyway, so yeah, it's like cheap lighters. for me, I don't know. Not something I really feel like, getting myself into with this new Batman. But especially when I start thinking about Batman, it's just like, I immediately start thinking about Set, you know what I'm saying? Set, I can't tell you off the head what kind of god he is, but, I'm more of a monk, you know what I'm saying? Magician, practitioner, excuse me, of the dark arts, and metaphysical man. So, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's like, I start thinking about that. I immediately think about the dog. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the dog, you got the ears, right? The ears to hear, that's that psychic ability, you know what I'm saying? Clairvoyance and stuff like that and things of such. So, you take out the trash. That's why Batman's such, you know what I'm saying? Because Set really is basically the God form of ourselves, in the sense of the higher natures. Our archangels, which is really us, our higher forms out of the physical realm of this confines of this earth. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why, and I've also noticed, because that's our individualness. Now, if you want to talk about stuff like, what I've noticed is, even in the old movies, you could put this in the Christian Bale movie where it's the best, because you got Joker and stuff like that. You got the Gordon, and you got, the Gotham City Police. So the police really represent Gib, which is Capricorn, which is Baba Lue. You know what I'm saying? That's what they represent. You know what I'm saying? Joker represents, whatchamacallit? Ishu. The crossing of the paths and whatnot. Or Loki, the trickster god. Basically, he puts you to the test. To where your beliefs, right, basically get put on the spot. And you get tested based off your beliefs. In other words, if you're a vegan, you want to eat meat, whatever, you got this guy, or this energy that comes to play where you'll be tested to eat meat or not, So you got this test that goes on, right? And it's who does Joker usually test? He tests Batman. That's just one of his greatest adversaries. So you got, Joker, or just any enemy in general that tests Batman. Batman is Set in the sense of us as humans trying to get up to that God level. That's why Set also kind of represents the devil, because it's somebody that goes against God or the regular people, right, which is all the angels in a sense in that story, and becoming its own God. You see what I'm saying? Stepping up to the plate to be doing. That's why Batman is greater to see him when you see him with, the Justice League and stuff like that, because that's when it's like, yeah, he's hit up there, you know what I'm saying? Because he's going toe to toe with them, you know what I mean? In that sense, these superpowered beings, But yeah, so you have Gib. Gib is the, the Saturn-like energy, you know what I'm saying? The one that, Baba Lue, the one that stands up for, the downtrodden and stuff like that, and the person that's kind of like, a patronizer, somebody that gets on people's asses, basically. And that's why you got that in the Gotham City Police, but specifically Commissioner Gordon, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like the hero, but the hero that doesn't get enough credit, as you see in the show Gotham, which is mostly about Commissioner Gordon. He's not commissioner then, but you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just, it's really calming me down, honestly. So, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of spiritual things that go along with Batman, you know what I'm saying? Batman is really, if you look at things, you can break things down when you watch the movie. When you do watch the movie, go ahead and break those things down, because a lot of people don't want to hear sometimes these breaking down things. They want to just see it for what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand, these people in Hollywood and stuff like that, they're already doing that. They know this. That's the energy that they're pulling off, A lot of times, since we're all, spiritual beings, you know what I'm saying, no matter which range of spiritual beings you are, because it's all spiritual. See, we're in the 3D, in the third density, you know what I'm saying? But we're on a planetary existence. That's why we're not like vegetables. We're not like plants. You know, we can walk around and stuff like that, which is on a 4D, a four-dimensional type of mentality. We can go different places. We could be in America today and then be in a different country tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically like the Slender Man, you know what I'm saying? You know, Slender Man magic, where you can honestly think at a level where you're in different places at different times. But nonetheless, you know, these Batman movies and things like that, even the people that created Batman, which they said was Bob Kane, right? But then we found out, and I found out in the documentary, I forgot his name, Dan can't come to mind. It was created by somebody else. Somebody had the original thought of Batman, and Bob Kane just kind of took it because you know, that's what they do. People do these type of things, you know. That's why we race to the money, but or whatever, something like that. And so you know what I'm saying. Basically, what you got with this guy, you know what I'm saying, is it came from his consciousness, right? But at a certain level, you know what I'm saying. It was on a human political scale, you know what I'm saying, with the politics of being a human and stuff like that, and who's over who, and what's justice and stuff like that, and which is basically, aka, you know, shout out to Jolo, just us, you know what I'm saying? So that's why Batman really cares about just, you know, his city, you know, and getting it, you know, where it needs to be, you know, because even you've seen the show Gotham, you know what I'm saying, when Bruce was like young, the whole show, you pretty much see him like learning the truth or the unseen about everything. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, you have in Egypt, you know, Set being the dog with the black dog, I forgot what type of dog that is, but the dog with the pointy ears and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying. But anytime you see a character with like pointy ears or horns, this is basically the ears or the different sides of your brain, which is right and left brain, that helps you, you know what I'm saying, come to certain senses and whatnot, especially on a fourth-dimensional level, because you start to think multi-dimensional in the sense of like you can basically not just see things one-sided. You don't have tunnel vision. So you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, basically, you know, you see a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, these movies and whatnot. But go ahead, man, when you watch, if you're gonna watch the Batman movie, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna see this because, see, Hollywood is gonna take that because it's perfect to take. I mean, if you really go look at back in the day, I mean, watch a documentary or something, there's a lot of superheroes that were made. Why didn't they keep a lot of superheroes and they kept certain ones? Yeah, they were probably first, and yeah, they had a good running, but that's because your spirit can vibe with that more. So that's maybe the reason why, you know what I'm saying, these characters stood out more than others. So, you know what I'm saying, when we come to find, you know what I'm saying, certain things like that, you know what I'm saying, Hollywood's going to jump onto it because, you know, it's in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, I think it's the Holly Tree, based off the Holly Tree, which is basically, you know what I'm saying, going to the forest, which is confusion and kind of like deep science, trying to break things down, trying to basically understand things out of all this stuff that's happening at one time, you know what I'm saying? Which is basically a representation of your mind, you know what I'm saying? Going to the Holly Tree means hollow. You can see through things. You understand things. You know, people say they can see through you. It's like that, you know what I'm saying? So Hollywood does a lot of things like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about, you know what I'm saying, spiritual growth, because when you're a child, you don't really understand things, but the older you get. But if you're still a child in the mind, child in consciousness, of course you're going to want to do that. And since most of the regular population, this is why politics is what it is. In the sense of not just the actual government politics, but politics in the sense of how human affairs go down, you know, clans over clans, families over families, and such like that. But not again. So, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of that going on, and at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying, that's what these movies are honestly created to do. Like, it's like a Bible verse, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you read the Bible when you're, like, young, or you're naive to the you know, deeper meanings of things and such and so forth, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to be able to detect the thoughts and the feelings that come together to create such and such scenarios where you're not thinking in a way where it's just that specific scenario. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say some people are very like lower life beings, because a lot of times they look for scenarios for validation. You know what I'm saying? But those scenarios and situations aren't necessarily what creates, you know what I'm saying, those feelings are already there, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times that's why people get into situations where they're very low vibratory, because the collective consciousness comes in play and those energy code signatures are definitely what gives people those, like, basically they get those situations and scenarios. But having the feeling is stronger because you can create that scenario situation in a similar confines, you know what I'm saying, somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? That's not necessarily the same thing. In other words, you can go to another country or hear somebody that speaks a different language in general and then kind of understand where they're coming from based off of certain, you know, of course, facial features and such and so forth. And the feeling that basically comes off of it, or what you're dealing with. So, you know what I'm saying? You definitely want to go ahead and check it out and look at, you know, look at all movies this way. But it's nice to do because when you actually look at this way, you don't have to look at it this way. It's all about metaphysics and understanding at a certain level and whatnot. You don't have to literally say, okay, Batman's trying to be a god. But essentially this is what it is because, see, we work better on a collective consciousness level of doing God. You know what I'm saying? Look at the pyramids. Even if you didn't know anything about the pyramids and you saw, okay, somebody built this, you know that somebody did not build this alone. Especially when you're thinking about back then at that time period. Like, you're not really thinking in a way where it's like, okay, they built the pyramids. They must have built it by, like, you know what I'm saying? They must have built the pyramids together collectively. That's like you have construction workers building buildings and side roads and stuff like that collectively. It's a better collectiveness. That's like your job, you know what I'm saying? And things are going to get done, they get better done with more people. You know what I'm saying? You know? A collectiveness, or basically, like, you can just think of it in this level like light energy. That's light work. Things you do with anything that has to do with this, like, physical realm of getting something done or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with light magic. So you're dealing with dark magic and whatnot. You're dealing with magic that has to do with your internal. So Batman kind of taps into that energy, and it's kind of like the character Domino. You probably saw her on Deadpool 2, I think. My sister watched that yesterday. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Deadpool 2. You got Domino in there, you know, the girl with the afro or whatever. But her character is basically luck. Usually she uses a gun, you know, or a sniper because she doesn't even know how to shoot. But she's going to make the shot, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like Batman's human power. I'm not saying that he actually is lucky, but in the sense to build himself up to be able to take on and fight right beside Superman, which you think Superman, he gets his power from the sun, solar energy, that's the soul, which is still dealing with, you know, this universal, you know what I'm saying, this universe that we're in. And he's still thinking about levels of, you know what I'm saying, light magic, basically. So Superman really gets a lot of light magic, which makes him really powerful in this dimension. That's like kind of the metaphysical being behind Superman, and he's dealing with his half-side, or his, like, partner in crime, which you could say usually is, you know, Batman. Batman and Superman are like, you know, so dealing with somebody like, you know, Batman, you're dealing with a person that's on a third dimensional plane of existence, or existence where everything's kind of equal. You know what I mean? And in a sense where in this realm things can take out other things in a sense, and there's a lot of unseen things behind things. And so you're dealing with like a planetary, which is fourth dimensional. You're dealing with being at different places at different times, or different ways of thinking, which kind of takes you out of this realm of, you know, existence or reality. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, it's like you can look at it that way and see how Batman kind of just, you know, be, you know. Now, see, the reason why you want to do this too, if you're at a certain level, is because when you watch these movies, you know what I'm saying, you come to find that, you know, realistically, it's like the people that are, you know, Batman's attacking, which are the criminals or whatever, you know what I'm saying, we know that crime really doesn't exist in a sense, you know, it's just people just lashing out at their societies and stuff, and such and so forth, and the communities for unjustness. So if Batman's going to bring justice, doing that, it's not really going to help justice. That's why he's in this cycle of always trying to find justice by taking vengeance, you know what I'm saying? And so when we look at that level, sometimes when you look at it at a mundane human level, the rest of these, you know, dead people, you know, this is what, you know what I'm saying, you come to find that these mortals, this is how they, like, are going to see Batman. And Batman on that level of existence, on that level of thinking, is always going to be like, aka the police. You know what I'm saying? In our reality of thinking of, okay, if you're a regular human now, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to watch Batman and you have some type, trying to get some type of meaning off of it. It's like basically, what did Batman use? Fear. See, when you overcome fear, you know what I'm saying, you do a lot of extraordinary things now, but you get succumbed by fear, it makes you go, you know, downwards in the human body and downwards more into basically doing the mundane thing, or not growing, you know what I'm saying, in intellect and such and so forth. Right? Wendy out here. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I've come to find out when I got in trouble with the law a long time ago as a teenager, you know, Batman just represents pretty much be afraid of the law, be afraid of like our law, because that's the law that what Batman protects. It's all about the justice. And of course, if you're a criminal, you're going against the law, and he's there to stop you, you know what I'm saying? But it's not even that he's there to stop you. It's almost kind of like, you know, all these Batman movies, nobody really knows who Batman is. I mean, Superman flies down, he'll take a picture with you or something like that. Batman does, you don't even see Batman. That's all about the darkness and the shadows, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why he works heavily with, you know, like I said, the police. You know, police representing Gib, representing the Capricorn, which is representing Babalua, the darkness, the unseen, you know what I'm saying? The people that come with the fire, which is like the gun, you know what I'm saying, or the burner, but also are there to save, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of these type of things. So being him one person in the whole city of police, you can automatically see how him in the darkness, you know what I'm saying, or in that law, what do they do to defend the law? So the law being that darkness in a sense, you know what I'm saying, of fairness, you know what I'm saying, that's what it's supposed to be in the higher dimensions, you know what I'm saying, you're going to the darkness, fifth dimensional, sixth dimensional, you know, you're dealing with complete truth, you know what I'm saying. So I'm saying it's the raise your vibrations. You could watch a movie and fall into it because these are portals into your state of consciousness. And even if you're trying to look at it like a regular movie, it's still on a certain level because, like I said, we're in the third density. There is a 2-dimension and a 1 dimension. You know what I'm saying? And then there's bottomless. You know what I'm saying? No dimension. And so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you're trying to think on higher levels of dimensional thinking because you're still thinking that way anyway. So that even when you're still thinking like a regular movie. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I really had to say about that, you know what I'm saying? But, yes, I'm going to watch that movie when I get a chance. I don't really watch movies, just go to the movies. But, you know, me and my whole family are huge, you know, DC Marvel fans or whatever. So, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm definitely going to see it, especially if y'all start commenting on stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit the like button, please. You know what I'm saying? And please subscribe, you know what I'm saying? We got more things going on, you know what I'm saying? So,